Hi there, beautiful people. So, I want to talk about a book that I recently read. A friend of mine sent me this book while I was recovering from back surgery. And I was like, okay, I hadn't read a good book in a while. And, she said it was good and it created discussion between her and another friend of hers that actually introduced her to the book. So, I said, okay. So she sent me the book, ordered me the book, and I got it. And the name of the book, as you can see, is The Deal, The Dance, and the Devil by Victoria Christopher Murray. Okay, so I'm just gonna read the back cover because it kind of tells you what the storyline is. So it says, "What would you do for $5 million?" Adam and Evia Langston have lived in their own little Garden of Eden since the two married at the age of 17. Working their way up from the humblest of beginnings, the Langstons have thrived beyond anything they could have ever imagined. Now they live in the finest home, drive the best cars, and it all indulge in all the trimmings that signify their massive success. But then the recession hits and tips apart the family's financial stability. Unable to support their three children and other relatives, Adam and Evia find themselves drowning in financial trouble and teetering on the brink of complete disaster. With nowhere to turn, the Langstons have no idea what to do. Until Shay Shantae, Evia's multimillionaire boss, comes to the Langstons with a $5 million offer that seems too hard to refuse. Will the Langstons make this deal? Or will they recognize that the glitter of $5 million may be far from gold? Okay, so that kind of tells you, pretty much what the story is. This couple who's been together since their youth had a wonderful relationship, um, three beautiful children, a son and two teenage twin daughters. Life was beautiful. They were, making enough money to have all the finer things in life. Husband had a six-figure, 350K a year job. They had everything they wanted. They had his mom set up in one of the best senior living facilities. They were giving her mom and other family members funds to make it. And then he lost his job, right? So he loses his job. She's working a regular job. She's an assistant to this multimillionaire um, cosmetics owner. She owns a cosmetics company, and she's a personal assistant to this CEO who offers her five $5 million to spend the weekend with her husband. Of course, at first she was like, "You have lost your mind, chick. You have lost your mind. I am not letting you spend time with my husband." But then they got a foreclosure sign put on the door in their swanky neighborhood, and all of the neighbors saw. They had their vehicles repoed, and all their neighbors saw. And then the kids got wind of the fact that things are not good. It affected their relationship, which was stellar up until this point. When she first got the offer from her boss, she did not mention it to her husband because she was like, "There's no way we're not doing it. There's no way we're doing it. There's no way he agreed to doing it." Um, when she mentioned it to him, he was like, "Maybe we should do it. Look at how things are." And of course, as a woman, I guess she took that as, "Oh wow, I'm not enough." Now, this boss of hers is, according to the description in the book, this beautiful woman, rich, shapely, very seductive, very sexual, very sensual looking woman. And she was, I'm sure, afraid that if her husband spent any time with this woman on a one on one, he might not want to come back to her. All right. So, anyway, they agreed to do it. They signed the contract. A part of the contract was that she would continue working for Shay Shantae until she found her a replacement. Shay Shantae made her life or her working environment hell. After they signed the contract, they went on and had their weekend together. While she's back at work with the woman, she keeps making these insinuations, about their time together. She even fixed it so that she overheard a conversation saying that she thought she was pregnant. So now you've let your husband spend the weekend with this woman, and now she's coming back to work saying she's pregnant. She's talking about the wonderful time she had and how good the sex was. And yeah, it would be tough to deal with. So she quits. She does not live up to the contract. And so her boss threatens to sue them. She threatens to sue them. Now, they've already gotten the money. They've paid off their home. They've purchased vehicles. They're planning their daughter's Sweet 16. And now they're being sued. Well, she's not suing them for the full amount. She's suing them for a portion. But she uses her husband, or asks her husband to see if he can't talk her out of the suit. Well, it turns ugly. The whole story is, the storyline is, and as you see, the last line is, the glitter of $5 million may not be gold. What ultimately ends up happening is we find out in the book, and I know this is a spoiler, we find out in the book that Shay Shantae is actually the devil. Shay Shantae is actually the devil who has come into this supposedly wonderful relationship to see if she can wreak havoc. If the relationship is strong enough to endure the struggles. Is the relationship strong enough to struggle for a little while until you can get back on your feet? And clearly theirs was not. They got used to those things that they were that they lived with, those material things. They were used to them. They wanted to keep them, and we all would. I wouldn't want to lose my home. Would I let my husband spend the weekend with someone for $5 million? I don't know. I guess you don't know until you're in that situation. I guess it would have to, I'd have to be in the situation to see how dire our situations are. I'm not saying I wouldn't. I'm not saying I would. But if things are bad enough, I think I would do whatever I needed to do to save my home, to take care of my family, take care of my kids. But yeah, it turns out that Shay Shantae is the devil. And one of her assignments was to go and see if she can wreak havoc in that perfect relationship that they supposedly had. And she does. She does. So I'm not going to tell you all of it, not going to tell you how it ended. I am going to tell you that if you are interested in something that it kind of sort of, has a religious undertone to it, but it is a very good, very steamy book. Check it out. The Deal, the Dance, and the Devil, Victoria Christopher Murray. Now, my friend Sharon, who sent me this book, has now sent me, I think it's like 5 more by this same author. So I will definitely be getting into those and coming on and sharing a little bit of what's going on in those. But yeah, please check it out. It's really interesting. It kind of makes you question, because like I said, I don't know what I would do. If we needed it bad enough, I'd be like, babe, don't go get nobody pregnant, but secure the bag, as they say. So let me know what you guys would do. Would you have the discussion? Would you, keep it from your spouse and or your significant other and just say, they wouldn't do it, I'm not even going to mention it? Or would you sit down and have a conversation and see where their head is, and kind of talk through the pros and the cons of the decision? And what decision would you make? So let's talk about it.